Bonjour. Hello. Welcome back to Elden Ring Nightreign. We are currently loading in because there was an update, and I decided to hop on as soon as I woke up. It is 5 p.m. Very normal time to wake up, I know, but there was apparently a hard mode that was dropped. I'm very interested in seeing that. Don't know why the load time is taking so long, but yeah, didn't want to wait, didn't want to like record and then do a voiceover afterwards. I wanted to get in and see this immediately, or as soon as I could, for myself and give my initial thoughts at the time of doing it. That being said, can wait. The Deep of Night. The Deep of Night has been added to the expedition's menu. Targets cannot be chosen, and difficulty increases with depth. Victory increases your rating, allowing you to proceed onto even greater depths. The boundless dark stretches out onto infinity. I am Executor. I don't want to be executed. So, the thing I was going to mention before was that I've been doing. Oh, it's Sentient Pest and Dark of Night. But I've been doing solo expedition of every Nightfarer for every Nightlord. And I'm doing that partially just to gain knowledge on the characters, on the bosses, how things play out on solo. And I'm using that footage to make like tier lists and stuff. And I was just wondering before we head into things, would you want to see those full unedited runs? I don't talk in them, but it's just me going and fighting Traflos, Gaping Jaw, Sentient Best, so on and so forth, as all the characters. Just curious. But here, the Deep of Night. The Deep of Night is a battlefield of endless night. Victory will increase your rating, uh, burnishing your depth. I don't know what burnishing means. But I'm gonna assume it means increasing. Uh, the darkness extends unto infinity. We have 0 out of 1,000. And since we can't choose our target, meaning it could be any of the Night Lords randomly, or because it says the darkness extends unto infinity, maybe it's just endless. Like night 1, night 2, night 3, night 4, and it just keeps going. Target, Sentient Pest. Yeah, Iron Eye is good for Sentient Pest. There was also a lot of changes, like balance changes, and I watched a video on those. Good to see that Guardian is getting a buff. Still not gonna play him. I'll play him for the solo runs, but outside of that, I was about to say, are we on a new map? But no, it's just a crater. And I do not want to deal with them. So we can just make our way through. Looks like a normal enough expedition right now. What do I have? Health, endurance, frost, character, skill cooldown, extended duration of weak point, endurance, dex. I'll help him out with that. He got the kill, so I'll let him take it. No. have a certain code of conduct, I guess you could call it. And one of those rules is just whoever gets to the scarab first gets the reward. However, if they walk away from the reward, then it's free game for anyone. Now, I have the extends duration of weak point. I don't know what... Ow. I don't know how long that lasts. Oh, the mark was broken. Good dodge, mate. Impeccable stuff. Good dodge and counter. Mighty impressive. Oh! Actually, have not played Iron Eye in a while. Because of the solo runs. Along with me just playing other games. They look weird. Oh. That is a 2 positive effects and a negative 1. Looks like. Neat. Alright, so they're red weapons. 2 positive effects and a negative 1. That's a thing. Continuous HP look. Red enemies. Right, I remember hearing about that. Reduce maximum stamina? I'm fine with that. Elf? That's a strange name. Oh yeah! One of the balance things. One of the balance things was that the continuous HP recovery was increased for the Blessed Iron Coin, I think it's called. Like one of the guaranteed relics. Which, continuous HP recovery and passive gens in general, that's my baby. We can do that. So we have frost and then damage. Are we sure fighting this is a good idea? Yeah, I don't know if fighting this is the best idea. We can probably do it, but... just reapply the mark to them. Okay. Also, winning this is at least slightly dependent on being able to kill quickly, and dying is not productive to killing quickly. The frost wore off, so we can reapply that. Trying to stay looking this way, but can see when the rain is coming. Just a little Iron Eye tip. Which, like, it's not the most useful thing, but that two blood ruins right next to each other? That's kind of what it looked like. Also, if your next destination is a church, like, especially if you kill a boss and then your next destination is a church, you really shouldn't worry about finding the site of grace, because there's always a site of grace very close to a church. And also, after you hit a location, take your pin off. It just helps with the visual clutter. Okay. Not sure how I feel about the negative effects. Haven't really looked at them. Oh, friends. Oh yeah, some of the enemies are just red. Are we fighting this area? Vanish Knight boss. At least one of them is red. I'm going to assume red means extra hard. Which, like, as Iron Eye means nothing. Because nothing can kill an Iron Eye player. We're just gonna mag dump the two of them. We're going to wonder where that Guardian is. I was about to say, okay, time to run. Because he just wasn't showing up. But he's here now. So is the Executor. Ooh, red. Root Affinity. Something tells me that this probably isn't going to be a mode I'm too fond of. They grabbed that up. Mostly just because I'm not a super competitive person. And I'm not big on ranked stuff. And I'm also not big on having, like, negative effects. I don't care for that. Gonna open that up. In case the teammate wants to go there. Yeah, I figured that was for the Guardian, considering it's a halberd. And the Guardian is the halberd character. We can grab that. Yeah, especially not a big fan of the negative effects, since you kind of want to be fast in Nightreign, and you don't want to be looking at negative effects and going, okay, is this worth it? The main castle. The reason I ran over here is because I knew you can do this quickly, and the two of them were kind of leading. And so I figured I can just do that while I'm waiting for them to pick the next destination. Which, main castle is an obvious one, but like I said, I have certain personal rules, and one of my personal rules is never go somewhere unless you're willing to go there alone. At least when you're playing with randoms. because there's no guarantee that they're going to follow you. There we go, we got him. Yeah, there's no guarantee that people are going to follow you. Ooh. Still have the derust. The games I've been playing recently are not FromSoft games, and so they are fundamentally different, and just don't play the same at all. And also aren't games that require a lot of fast reaction time. But Crafted Scion doesn't really matter that much. Easy boss, easy kill. Black Bow. Taking damage to boost damage negation is good. Near death reduces our gauge. Alright, so that's like when you go down and need to be revived. You lose 30% of your art gauge. Whether that's total or of what you currently have, I don't know, but also I don't go down that much. I was about to say, even if they lived that, Executor can deal with it. That's heading in now. We can... Okay. I was gonna say, we can kill this guy if we all stand together. Or we can at least get their health down a bit. Icon shield. The icon shield tragically doesn't have the like passive healing property that it does in Elden Ring here, which is so sad to see. But I remain loyal to it, even without that. Centipede Demon. Wham. We can Frostbow. They've been poisoned. You've been poisoned. That line will forever live rent-free in my head. They've been frosted. I didn't mark because I thought he was gonna jump. But I have not seen Centipede Demon in forever. Do that. And just keep going, and they're dead. None of these are that good. That's something I notice a lot, is just the Night 1 rewards, not good. At least not good for the characters that I play and my play style. There's a lot of like FP stuff a lot of critical hit stuff. A lot of this thing happens while walking stuff. And I just don't really care about FP. I rolled ever so slightly too late. Get them up, we can heal. Can reduce FP consumption because we've already got the black bow, so we don't need a better bow. Or another bow, rather. But there isn't really a better bow than the black bow. There are bows that are basically just as good, like the Erdtree bow. But nothing really like stand out better. Improved affinity damage negation. I wonder, are these the normal versions of the Nightlords? Or are these the Everdark Sovereigns? Everyone was saying that this is a hard mode. And the Everdark Sovereigns are the hard mode of the Nightlord specifically. Open that up. Waiting to see if he would drop the icon shield so I could snag it. Are they going up to the rooftops? Because I'd argue that... Jeez. He really likes that one attack. And you might say, oh, it's because I'm far away and that's the gap close attack. But I've been pressed against them like that. And they've still spammed that attack. Which is pretty funny. But also, yeah, he is on the roof. Improve stance breaking. Right, we can go up and kill the ancestral spirit at the top. But then after that, we have to head in for the greater. So up and up we go. Also, I think I'm going to drop this like today as it comes out. Though I still have a few other things. Like a few other videos. Like, I believe I have the final numbered video. The hard mode might continue the numbered videos. I'm too late. Is Frost even worth it? Oh, what do you know? Right as I was about to say, I think I'm gonna just move over to the black bow for the damage. A very good timing there. But I also have, like, Everdark Sovereign Gladius. Already level 13, wow. Yeah, once you get that first pop-up, where the circle starts moving, like, once you get that for the first time, it's time to go. Right, they want to go for the church. That's tragic, though. Missing out on Bless Dew. Actually, instead of going for the church, I'm just going to ignore the church for now. Ow. I think that's the boss. Because I kind of assumed that the team would come with. Kind of ignoring the whole don't do something unless you're willing to do it alone rule. And that's why. Because there's no guarantee that they'll come with. That middle one was red, and they took an extra hit to kill. So, good to know. Mark them, get the critical hit in. Improved affinity damage negation. And keep moving. So I think someone just got home because there are door noises going on downstairs. So hopefully that doesn't affect too much. Let's shoot them to break the mark. Let's go in to reset the mark. Only hit one enemy with it, but that's okay. And we can kill these guys. I picked that up specifically because of the improved guarding ability. But yeah. Dolph has Bless Dew. We should. Alright, so he's going to actually try to kill the enemies. I'm just gonna pop all those. And just to save him some time so he can look at those if he wants. What's this? Warrior Jar. Pack that up. Drop that. And again. I was hoping that he'd pick it up for Bless Dew. Like, pick it up and drop Bless Dew. Because I saw him using a skill earlier. But oh well. And here, we can focus on just getting the kill. I'm not gonna try to frost them because I know that they have very, very high frost resistance. It's just not worth it. Wham. Remark them. The great thing about Iron Eye is that he's very position oriented. That's something that you may notice, is that when I play Iron Eye, I don't just stand still. I'm constantly slowly moving. And the reason for that moving is because there are certain positions you want to be in. And it's very hard to get those positions as a melee character. Continuous HP recovery +1, all resistance is up. Yes, please. And that gets us to level 15. 139 compared to 114. However, 114 also means that we don't have to swap between bows. Alright, so I'll have enough time to go and hit the church. At least I should. Maybe the taking double damage from the Knight's Tide will mean I don't. Considering the Knight's Tide already does a lot of damage, and I tend to do calculations. Like the do I have enough time with calculation. Based on can I spend the time in the rain. Do that just to kill a bunch of those enemies. Now, normally I go around killing a bunch of these, like, small enemies as well. But because we came here a little late, I don't know if I'm going to do that. We can grab that flask. We can grab these. Continuous HP recovery, continuous HP recovery. We got my beloved icon shield. And we can just do what we normally do. Oh, yeah, we've got time. Yeah, we still have that near death reduces heart gauge, but now we only have 1 instead of 2. And the rain is getting very close. There it is. We don't want to spend any time in there because of this. But we can just move on. Does he still have Bless Do? He does. They both have 1 good talisman. I mean, Bless Do objectively isn't really good, but it's good in my heart. Drop that because it's fire weapon. The boss is weak to fire. So physical attack up, improved range of weapon attack. Is physical attack up just for this hard mode? Because I don't think I've ever seen that before. I've seen it as like a boss orb reward. But I don't think I've ever seen it as a weapon passive reward. So I think that may be new to this hard mode. Or it was newly added as part of the update. Hello. I'm going to do that, and don't get too mad at me now. Can't get mad because you're dead. And you tried to poke me, so I'll poke you with arrows. That seems fair, I think. Alright, so Nux Dragonkin Soldier is what we're getting. Hey, I said that the Icon Shield no longer has continuous HP recovery in this game. But here it is. In base Elden Ring it's 3. But still. Slam. Might be misremembering, but I thought that, or at least I think that you used to be able to like break the mark and re-proc it at the same time. With Iron Eye's character skill. But now, whenever I break the mark with his skill, it just breaks it, but it doesn't reapply it. And I don't know if that's me, like, tricking myself into thinking something that was never real is real, or if that was actually a nerf. All three of these are good. I'm gonna go with more health, though. But not a lot. But it's something. Actually, I wonder... Ooh, his has it too. It also has the same negative effects. So his has holy damage negation. Mine also has improved holy damage negation, so they're the same. You're the exact same weapon. Incredible. Crimson Burst, my beloved. Opaline. More Warming Stones. Look at that. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. Twinsies. Now, I have this. He's got the beloved Dew. Well, that's 2. This is 1. We can check out these. No, those are useless. Although Twiggy cracked here. In base Elden Ring, Twiggy cracked here was my beloved. That was the thing that I always used. And here it's Crimson Burst. In base Elden Ring, it was Twiggy cracked and Opaline hard tier. That gave me more defense, and then made it to where I didn't lose my runes, just in case I died. Now here, if I can get my hands on them, it's Crimson Burst and Opaline hard tier. Also, the special merchant, the one that sells you a smithing stone too. I wish that they would also sell you these two. That's what I get for not paying attention. No. As I said, Iron Eye is very much a positional character. Like, yeah, he has marking, which is a very potent dodge. But because he can sit at range, he's not a super big dodge character. He really is more of a positional character. Or at least you can play him as either. I'm not sure where that one thing was going. But anyways. And so in dual bosses like this, I tend to try to position myself in a way that allows me to keep both enemies in line of sight. You could see that at the beginning, where I was keeping Noster here, just like in the corner of the screen, so I could keep an eye on them. Phase 2. I thought that you had to fully take their health bar out in order to get to Phase 2, because I haven't fought basic Noster in so long. That I've basically forgotten how their fight operates. And I fought the Everdark Sovereign version more than this normal version. Ouchies, wouchies. I don't like how he's moving towards me. We're gonna throw that down. We're gonna sip that. We're gonna fire some shots off. And I was about to say, and once they either do a big attack or they look at me, I'm gonna drink Opaline. And, Easy Gooder just took a lot of damage. I wonder what that was about. I wonder what that was about. Because I'm really not paying attention. Okay. So that was a very easy win. I think it's interesting how there's some weapons that have 2 positive effects and a negative effect. That's kind of neat. And those look different. Deep. So there's normal and then there's deep. We can get rid of that. Fire attack. Ooh. While there's standard attacks enhanced with fiery, yada yada, so you do the skill, you do a normal attack, boom, he's got fire on the greatsword. And then increased rune acquisition for self and allies, and fire attack power up +2. That's a good one. But let's see these deep ones. Flame Shrouding cracked here in possession at start of expedition. Okay, that's good. Being able to have one of those like wondrous physic tiers in possession at the start of an expedition, that's so good. Don't care for Flame Shrouding that much, especially since it has Holy Attack power up +2. If it was also Fire Attack power up +2, that would be really good. We can sell that 700, that's pretty good. Defeating enemies fills more of the art gauge +1, but reduced damage and negation for flask usages. So, as you're healing, if you get hit while you're healing, you take more damage. That's what it sounds like. And then physical attack power up +4. It has a max of 2 normally, but +4. However, near death reduces max HP. I wonder if that's just like until you reach the next site of grace, or is that until the next day, or is that for the rest of the run, like for the rest of the expedition? And does it stack? So like if you go down, or if you have a near death 3 times, does it lower your max HP 3 times, or does it cap out at 1? Or does it cap out at 3? So these also have some negative effects. I'm gonna keep that one. The near death reduces max HP. Not good, but physical attack up +4. That's good. Don't care for that. Dormant power helps discover ballistas. So you gain, or you're more likely to find ballistas? That kinda sucks. Especially because I just don't like ballistas. Fire attack power up +3, that's good. Reduces strength and intelligence. For the strength and int characters, that's bad. For the characters that don't really care about that, like Iron Eye, that's good. Improved lightning damage negation +2. However, more damage taken after evasion, no. Okay. +200. Okay. So, now that we won that, I think I'm just gonna... oh, depth relics. Touched by the deep of night, vessels' depths are now revealed. Depth relics can be placed on a newly revealed location upon each vessel. This power will only take effect in the deep of night. Okay, so there's an extra 3 slots. And we can throw these on... Can't put any normal ones on there, we can only put deep ones on. And they'll only take effect in the deep of night. Okay. Cool. But okay, I can give my initial thoughts on this. And after this, I'm gonna keep playing and see if the higher depths... The more I burnish my depths, I'll see how things change. But for now, just initial opinions. I kind of like the concept of enemies being more difficult, or having like certain red enemies that are more difficult. And I think that both the like burnishing your depths to make things more difficult, and the fact that the weapons and these special relics can have stronger positive effects and like 2 positive effects on the weapon instead of 1. Not a fan of the negative effects. That's just me. That's not like an objective, oh, this was a bad choice by the developers. This is just my personal taste kind of thing. I don't think I'm gonna get too into this, just because I prefer the normal one, because this one... there's a third thing for the depth relics. Yeah, the fact that there are negative effects, not really gambling, but kind of in that same ballpark of like taking risks. And that doesn't suit my personal taste. So I'm probably not going to get too into this. But it's interesting. I appreciate that they're giving the players something to tide them over until we get more Nightfarers and more Nightlords. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be too into this, but that's not to say that it's bad. It's an interesting idea. I can definitely see why people would like it. Just not really my personal taste. But it was interesting. I'm probably gonna play it a bit. Probably gonna get to like maybe dip 3, probably. But interesting. Yeah. Let me know if you wanna see my solo runs, because I'm going to continue on those now that I'm back from playing like Pokemon and stuff. And I don't remember what they were offhand, but some of the Nightlords, I think it might have been Dark Drift Knight, got like a buff, so they're harder. I don't know if that's the normal version or the Everdark Sovereign version, but Dark Drift Knight, kinda on the easy side. So my Guardian run in the future will weep, but outside of that, good to see that they got more difficult. But yeah, I'd like to hear if you want to see those solo runs, or if you're okay with me just chopping them up into like clips of the different bosses and whatnot, and then deleting the raw footage. But yeah,